Alright, hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a tutorial on this sunset look with a neon yellow liner. I just created this look last week and I'm absolutely in love with how it looks. I think it is so fun, especially with like the yellow and the purple liner on the lash line. So if you want to see how I got this look, keep on watching. Before we start, I already went ahead and did my brows and primed my lids off camera. I'm going to start off by taking the Moto Pro BMX 430 crease brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade Perfectionist from the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to take it and buff it all over my crease. This is going to serve as our first transition shade before we start working with the bright colors. And now I'm going to take a Morphe M433 and I'm going to dip into the shade Positivity, which is a bright coral, and I'm going to work that into the inner portion of my crease. I'm not going to take it all the way in, I'm just taking it to the center, about halfway point, and then stopping. And I'm going to take another clean M433 brush and dip into the shade Lolly Mama, and I'm going to work this on the outer half of my crease. And I'm blending the shade all the way to the center to meet the coral that I put down first. And then I'm going to take the same brush, dipping into the shade Therapy Sesh and working that beneath Lolly Mama. This is going to add a bit of depth and dimension to the look, and I'm not going to take it all the way in, just stopping at the halfway point. Using the same brush again, I'm dipping into the shade Stay True and working this into the outer corner. Now I'm taking the same M433 brush I used for the first coral shade, and I'm going to dip into the shade My Man and just placing that on the inner portion of my lid and blending it to the halfway point. With the Morphe M507, I'm dipping into the shade Not My Journey, which is a cool purple, and I'm going to work this into the outer corner and crease of my eye to just give a bit more depth and dimension. Now I'm taking a Morphe M562 and I'm dipping into the shade Hard On, which is a bright red, and I'm going to blend it in the center of my lid. This is going to tie in the orange and purple and really bring the look together. And now taking the same M507, I'm dipping into the shade Temptress, and I'm going to apply this to the outer corner to just deepen up the purple. I'm also dragging out the shadow slightly to get sort of a winged effect. And now with the Morphe M506, I'm going to dip into the shade Dance Party and start working this on the outer half of my crease to just make sure everything is blended and there are no harsh lines. And I'm also dragging my shadow out a little bit to get a winged effect. Now going back in with my Moto BMX 430 crease brush, I'm going to blend out the crease and just make sure everything is nice and blended and there are no harsh lines before we move on to the rest of the eye look. Alright, this is it for the lids. I'm going to go ahead and finish part of my face makeup off camera and be back to finish off the rest of the eye look. Okay, for the lower lash line, I'm taking the NYX Epic Wear Liner Stick in the shade Periwinkle Pop, and I'm going to use it to line the lash line as well as the waterline. And now I'm taking a Morphe 251 brush and dipping into the shade Cuddle Cake from the Suva Beauty UV Taffies Hydra Effects palette, and I'm creating a wing. This is totally optional, but I just love the way the yellow looks against the purple and the orange. You could totally finish the look with a black liner if you wanted to instead. And lastly, I'm just taking a pencil brush and dipping into the shade I'm In It, which is a white shimmer with purple reflex, and just putting this on my inner corners. Alright, this is the finished eye look. I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup off camera and be back to show you the completed look. Alright, this is the completed look. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I will put all the rest of the makeup I used in the description box below if you're interested. And please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and turn on the bell for post notifications. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Valentina, and it's so nice to have you here. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.